5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is Shot 30 Podcast, and I am Shane Newbert, and sitting across from me today is, man, I'm a fan. First of all, I'm going to say I'm a fan. He is Jordan Raybould, and he is the host of Benevolent Dictator, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, all those other things. And he also has a comedy special out there on YouTube right now, and it's called Freedom Boner. Jordan, thank you for being here. This is awesome.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. No one ever forgets that comedy special name.
Oh, dude, it's and the picture too. It's unforgettable.
I had like really mixed when I was telling my friends about it. Yeah, when I was telling my friends about it, they were like, some were like, "Dude, it's great, awesome. I think it's funny and fun," and then others were like, "You're gonna get made fun of so much for that cover," and. You know, I will take a beating from comedians on podcasts in the future. And then also now I put myself in a spot where I can't get fat.
Oh, yeah.
People are going to put that fucking picture in my face. So now I got to keep going for runs, even though I don't want to.
You see, I have people like they do editing. Like I had a mic one time and I was like, I don't know, I was singing or something like this, and everybody changed it to a bunch of dildos. And you know, if you get fat, dude, they're gonna put Fat Jordan sit behind that flag, dude. It actually kind of reminds me of a picture of Lizzo I seen once.
Yeah, I put that up on my Instagram. I said, who wore it better, Lizzo or me? And, you know,
it's a coin toss. It's a coin toss. Depends on what you're into.
It's kind of a preference thing. It's like, do you like fat black chicks more than fit white guys? It's up to you. It's up to you.
Don't I think Lizzo's a babe, dude. I love it when she shakes that shit. She can play my flute any day.
You know, she's pretty. I don't have a strong feeling on it. I just hate that some people want her to stay fat forever. And like, you know, I don't know, several weeks ago, she was like, I'm going on a juice cleanse, which is frankly a bad diet. It's not going to work. And it's not a thing anyone should do because it isn't healthy. You won't lose weight. You're just starving yourself. And then the second it ends, you're just going to scarf a 13 dozen donuts at once. You know what I mean? It's not a good idea. People get mad at Lizzo because she started trying to take care of herself. Like, you know, she's trying, and they're like, wow, Lizzo, I can't believe that you would turn on fat people like this. You're like,
they really did. They really did. They really did do that. Dude, I saw her TikTok, or not TikTok, but her Instagram. She started talking to her belly every morning, and I think, like, I think it's a brave and proud thing to do, you know, wake up in the morning and have a nice conversation, you know, and, like, it's a brave move. And see, just like you did. With your flag, that's a brave, bold move.
Yeah, I'm all for. I mean, I don't care. I don't have strong feelings on.
I do love how you put the red and the blue behind you in your special picture, because you know the red, white, and blue. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, dude. You gotta support America.
I
actually do love America. It's a great country. It has its flaws, but
you're a really white guy. But you're also like, you're in really great shape. I do want to say that. You got a hot bod on you.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah,
CrossFit, right?
I do a fair amount of. I do CrossFit. Yeah, man. I mean, I work out. I like going to the gym. It's my hobby. So I do for fun, but I don't. You know, I don't know. Dude, I don't know, man. I don't want to advertise so hard on that front. I've put up thirst traps, but I keep them to a minimum.
I understand.
I just think. Yeah, he's just you know, you want to be known as a comedian, you don't want to be known as a hot guy. And
are you sure?
Those are two different, you know, I have a girlfriend, I don't care. And besides, it's not like even when I'm single and you put up a thirst trap, it's only for gay men. Like women don't give a shit. They don't message, they don't do anything about it.
Actually, my stand-up and the podcast, we have a really solid group, and I'm going to give them a huge shout-out right here, in California, of really fucking jacked gay men. Like, dude, like, as buff as
gay guys get so jacked.
And I love the shit out of those guys, and I can't wait to go do stand-up for them. I just don't want them to, no restraints. I'm not into that 50 Shades of Gay, or Gray.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But,
I know, but yeah, gay guys like shoot their shot, and I really appreciate it. I just wish women would more. I mean, again, I have girlfriends, so don't bother me, and I end up like blocking people a little bit. But gay guys just have no shame on being real upfront with what they want to do to you.
I love that. I love that approach. You know, if you're just standing at the urinal, come invade my personal space and talk about what I'm working with. Like, how's my aim?
I mean, I don't know if that might be the line for me, but I don't mind a guy messaging me and being like, "Hey, I want to,
Fuck.
You want to blow each other?" And I'm like,
yeah.
I appreciate the offer, dude. I appreciate the offer, but I'm good.
You've never done it once? Oh, if you didn't have the girlfriend, would you at least think about it?
No.
Okay.
I'm not that. Who knows? I mean, I made a joke once where I was like, "Look, if this doesn't work out, what I'm doing right now, then I'd be like, I might as well. Like, why? Like, what? Why would I not? The only reason I wouldn't is because my own sense of identity. But like, who gives a shit? No one would even know. And so you might as well try stuff that's different.
Yeah, I had an OnlyFans girl that she was on here, and I mean, she's just making a killing, and she spices it up with doing her own style, and that's. But she also did get Trump 2020 tattooed on her finger, and I don't have any opinion about any of that stuff. But I thought that was just, that's
that you want to go public with.
that's just real. That's just real permanent.
Wow, this that sounds like an interesting person. Sounds like an interesting person to talk to.
Great person, complete sweetheart. But hey, Shot 30 Podcast is available on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, CastBox, and on YouTube if you're just listening on one of the podcast apps. And also, Shot 30 is sponsored by Mrs. Newbie's Cakes and Cookies. Visit Mrs. Newbie's Cakes and Cookies on Facebook and Instagram today and put in your orders for Valentine's Day. She's doing those crackable hearts. She's doing chocolate-covered strawberries. She's doing, anything for that night to be a little bit more special afterwards. You know how we all get the munchies after we're done. Visit Mrs. Newbie's Cakes and Cookies on Facebook and Instagram today. Jordan, I watched your special.
Okay, cool.
I love it. I really love it.
Thank you, man.
And
I'm proud of it.
It's been, I think I stumbled across you a couple years ago, and dude, I really like your style of stand-up a lot. I like that.
Thanks, man.
You're a handsome guy, you're in shape, but you also kind of like create that little bit of like a vulnerable vibe when you're on stage, and I really like that a lot.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, none of that is like a conscious thought. It's just you're just trying to be funny with what you can. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just not. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I think I have a face of like a huge douche or a jerk, but I like to think I'm not, and I like my comedy to sort of reflect that. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna. I'll do whatever I think is funny, but yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm really proud of it. It's a lot of work doing a special, but then, I mean, as you know, you're a comedian. Like, I can't even watch it, dude.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got a little lag.
And I'm like, I can't. All you see is just being like, man, that, it's fun. Like, you after you shoot a special, record an album, you always start retiring jokes, and but it's fun. You have to do some of them to fill the hour. So you're like. They get better. So like I probably kept like 15, 20 minutes. Now it was on the road and just to stay alive, because you can't just do all brand new premises to these poor people because they paid money and you don't want to just bomb for 50 minutes. So jokes like I trim fat on some of them. And then when I drop shit, it was like the right move to drop it. So it was really funny watching it and just being like, fuck, that joke got better. And but you also have to record and put things out at some point in time and like be done with it in order to move on. And the reason I filmed it is I felt like it was time for me to move on with some of those jokes. Like, like for that Wall Street nap story, like I haven't worked on Wall Street since I was 24. I am not 24 now. So it just starts getting silly when you're just telling the same stories on repeat. Like, you're like, really? Another Friday night, you're going to do the same story that you did last Friday and the Friday before that and the Friday before that. And then every other night, you fucking bore. That's how I felt about it. Was doing the same act.
The cool thing is, like, the difference in, like, a guy like you and a guy like me is we live in two different parts of the world. You're in New York, where you have comedy clubs that you can pop into quite a bit, workout sets. Dude.
Yeah.
We are not. I live in a town of 60 people. I have a gas station.
Wow.
And that's it. Like, there's places and stuff down the road where I can work out stuff or this and that. But I like to show up at some of these places once every month or something like that, where I can, where they're going to hear something new and I get to work that and then piece it together, put it together in my own brain. And then I won't lie, I work out some of my fucking bits on podcasts and shit because I know I am performing for, whatever it is, 500-600 people who ever listen to my fucking dumbass talking.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. I mean, I like doing my solo podcast for that reason, because it kind of gets me in that comedic muscle. And of course, everything's like longer form and it's not nearly as punchy as it would be or expected to be in stand up, but you definitely can come up with like, great premises and joke ideas just from free flow on podcasts. You can work the ideas out. And I don't think the expectation on a podcast in terms of like how funny you need to be is like, you need to be getting a laugh every 15 seconds. Like, I mean, if you could do that, you are God.
True. But okay, so now you have the really benevolent dictatorship. Or benevolent dictator. Yeah. And I've listened to that. I really do enjoy that. Now, do you do that one's just hosted by you. Now, you do a separate one with your brother, correct?
No, we did, but we just didn't have the time. And I just wanted to do it alone. I shot a bunch of sketches with my brother and we still collaborate and write together on a lot of projects.
Oh, I wanted to talk about that. You're killing it on TikTok. You're doing well.
Yeah. I mean, all of that's from my stand-up special and just uploading random sketches and stuff. But yeah, that's where most of my growing fan bases come from, is just on TikTok, because it's amazing. It's the worst app and it's a great app at the same time. I mean, it's great for discoverability, but it's the worst because of the things people upload to it.
And I know I'm a victim of something that you said once. Now, just know that before I have a guest on the podcast, I do a lot of research, and I'm a huge advocate. You probably have never seen the video, but I have this gray pair of sweatpants, and I've sewed a giant third leg onto the gray sweatpants in the middle. And I know you have a problem with people talking about large penises or wearing Magnum condoms. I've heard this before. And so I just wanted to apologize that if I've offended you in any way for wearing those gray sweatpants.
No, look, dude, you got a big dick. That's great. I only am arguing that Magnum condoms are just overcharged by condom company, by Trojan, because they're capitalizing on the fact that men think every dude thinks they have a huge dick or they need a special. No, you don't. And I've seen clips. I swear to God, that bit has gotten so much pushback online. Every fucking comment is like, well, I need a Magnum. And I put a link under the video. And I was like, here is the chief marketing officer of Trojan informing you that you don't need a Magnum condom. Dude. He is saying it. That's where the joke came from. He's like, it's the same at the base. It's millimeters thicker at the thing, at the, on the girth and all that. And it's like, and if you can make a giant water balloon and with a regular condom, your dick isn't that big. Well, and it's just insane to me how everyone fights me on this.
What about Peter North? Isn't Peter North known for like gripping? Isn't that what his name? Yeah, Peter North. Yeah. Oh, yeah, real he's famous. A porn star. Yeah, he's famous for like gripping the shit out of his fucking chicken, and I mean, you got to have a little leeway in that condom, dude, just in case. Otherwise, that's just fucking spewing out there.
You just named arguably one of the biggest dicks on earth. Okay, maybe the one guy with the fucking biggest dick on earth, but you're just an assistant manager at Best Buy.
Dude, I had to take this off the wall.
I'm glad you got a big hog.
I had to take this off the wall because he's in prison now.
Isn't he in prison for like pedophilia or something?
I think it's assault. I think that's what it was. But I also got my girl always standing beside me. She's also in prison right now. That's Bridget the midget.
Oh, I don't know who that is. What did she do?
She stabbed her boyfriend in the thigh with a knife.
All right, I'm sure she had her reasons. Imagine how big of a piece of shit you got to be to get Me Too'd and canceled from porn. That's how awful Ron Jeremy is. He got canceled from porn.
I know a stand-up comedian. He's a close buddy of mine. He was actually living out in L.A. until everything shut down, and he came across Ron Jeremy at one point getting on a bus, and he said, "Dude, that was the saddest thing I've ever witnessed." Like, you would think that this guy. He said that he had about two 65-year-old women who pasted their faces in makeup and were like, "Yeah, we suck his dick all the time," and just it was rough. He said it was real rough. He said real sad.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, you gotta. If you do get famous, you really just don't waste your money. Whatever, I don't know the details of Ron Jeremy's life. I don't know how he wasted his money, but there really is nothing sadder than seeing someone who kind of like, hit the life lottery like that. Because all this stuff, like, I'll call it entertainment. Porn's entertainment too. But all of this stuff is like, there's such a lottery aspect to it. Like, why would this stand-up bit go viral on YouTube and that one wouldn't? Who knows? I can't even predict, like, for me personally, when I upload a stand-up clip, I can't even predict which ones people are gonna take off and which ones don't. And I'm always shocked by that. But there's nothing sadder than someone who hits that lottery and then years later you just see them like, riding the public bus in LA. I mean, that's riding the bus in New York's no big deal. You see Keanu Reeves doing that all the time. He's riding public trans all the time, but there's not like, you don't even have a Toyota Corolla?
You're so right. You're right. And like have one of those drag down women, like just have them drive. They probably don't know how, but dude, how far is Rochester, New York from you?
Oh, hours, probably like 5 or 6 hours. I don't know. I've never been to Rochester.
I was gonna try to hook you up with the guy who was just on the show like 2 episodes before you. He's from Rochester, and he's big powerlifting dude. And I told him that you were coming on the show, and he said it looks like he does CrossFit. I was like, hey, go rough him up if you got to.
That guy would fuck me up, dude. That guy would fuck me up. That'd be great, man. I mean, if I'm ever in there, I would love that. Like. Those guys are animals. I'm not that much of an animal anymore, dude. It's all for just like
for show.
It's all for show.
For the picture.
Yeah, it's all for show. Yeah.
It was all for the cover.
I'm like so bad at Olympic lifting compared to anyone who sincerely does it. I have no delusions of grandeur on that.
You've been like an athlete for a long time, and we're going to get into your soccer career right after this. Hey, Shot 30 Podcast is sponsored by The Bone Collector. Ken Versluis in Viola, Illinois. He is a world-class barbecuer. He's competed against everybody in the world, and he's won trophies across the world. That is Ken Versluis, Bone Collector, BBQ and Catering on Facebook. Their times are very slim, so if you want to get an order, you got to get it in quick. I know he's got some Super Bowl orders for this weekend still open up, and if we got this episode out before then, you might be able to fit yourself in. But that is The Bone Collector, Ken Versluis, BBQ and Catering in Viola, Illinois. Yeah. So anyways, your soccer career. Dude, you're a big soccer guy, huh?
Yeah, once upon a time in an earlier life, that was the goal, was to be a professional soccer player. And, didn't happen. I'm the worst level to be good at that, good at soccer. I'm like great. If you want, like, I'm the best pickup player you'll have, but I'm not good enough to actually get paid to do it. It's the scariest, worst level to be at something.
What started your love for soccer?
I just grew up playing it. I just, you're a kid, you just pick up a sport, and, some you love and some you don't. And I just love playing soccer. So, and my older brother also played, so that probably had a hand in it. But he actually did play professionally for Kansas City and also in the top division in Sweden. And my whole family played, so it's kind of a family affair a bit too.
Did you play any other sports?
Growing up, yeah, I played like every sport, but soccer was the one I loved the best. It's just most, and I think it also suited my physical capabilities the best. I mean, I would have been horrific at football. I would have got murdered in football, and I would have been. I mean, I wasn't. I was fast, but I'm not like track fast. Nor is that sport fun. And tennis, I was too impatient for. Golf, too impatient for. And basketball was fun, but I 5'9". It's not happening.
Oh, dude, you're taller than me. Dude,
All
I'm
right, man.
I'm 5'8".
Neither of us had a shot at it.
No,
Yeah.
dude, I'm 5'8", and I weigh about 260.
Are you the real 5'8" or are you the fake 5'8"? You know, I'm talking like what are you on your Bumble app? What do you put for Bumble in your profile?
I've never had a Bumble. That's one of the dating sites, right?
Online dating thing. Oh,
I only ever had Christian Mingle. But I've never
For real?
No. I
don't know, man. I don't know you. I was like, that's wild.
I don't even know what it takes
I mean,
to be a Christian. Am I still allowed to be? Will they still let me in the group, like the club? I don't know.
Hey, all you gotta just repent and you're good, man.
Isn't that? Do I have to get baptized?
I mean, it depends on which denomination you do, but yeah, eventually.
Oh, okay. I was thinking about getting that.
I mean, I grew up Catholic, but I'm nothing now.
So you don't get baptized?
I am baptized. I'm baptized. I'm confirmed. I've done reconciliation. I've done all of it. And
are you still an avid visitor of the church?
No.
Dude.
It's just not. This is 0% chance I go. Only way I'll ever go is if it's Christmas with my family. It's the only time I'll go.
That's sweet of you. That shows you have a kind heart.
I mean, I go to be there, but I mean, it's like, it's too big of a deal to fight everyone on it. So I just sit there and I just go, well, this is a waste of all of our time. But
dude, one time I did go to church and I was like 21 years old or something like that. And I was livid when it was grape juice and it wasn't real wine. And the bread was stale as fuck, dude. Like they gave you this bread.
That's messed up, man.
Like you could at least, and I've got into the hobby of making bread, learning how to make bread. It was like my New Year's resolution is learning how to make bread. And listen, it does not take much effort to go buy a loaf of soft bread from Walmart. It does not.
Well, they do the wafers, right? Was it a Catholic church?
I don't really know the difference, so at this point I couldn't give you a real answer.
Fair enough, but like the Catholic churches usually use these like wafers. They're like these circular wafers.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They're terrible, but yeah. And I'm surprised by the grape juice. They usually use like wine, and then they let everyone drink. At Catholic church, they have everyone drink from the same cup, so we all just share herpes, or Corona, or whatever. Or it's the same cup. Even when I was little, I was like, I feel like we should all use different cups.
Or cup. In your world, chlamydia. I won't drop.
You don't get chlamydia that way, but yeah.
I won't drop too much of that out. But dude, I like I said earlier, your stand-up special is so great, and then you also released segments, like each clip on Spotify, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I have it out on Spotify. It's like a audio album. It's on like SiriusXM and all that. I'm lucky. I got a company, a record label to pick it up, and just by email on places and connections, and so You Lucky Dog Productions distributes it, and it's on I'm excited it's on SiriusXM, and which is the best, and it's also on Spotify if anyone wants to check out just in audio form.
What got you into stand up?
You always think you're funny. I did it one time when I was 16, but I'm a kid from Kansas, so it's like I didn't understand you should keep doing it. And then also I was just a teenager. I was like just doing normal teenage stuff and playing sports and doing school. And then in college, I did it one time in college too. And then I worked on Wall Street, and that job was very hard on me. I didn't enjoy it. And it was I did investment banking, so I was working like 80 to 100 hours a week. Ugh. And while I worked there, I just hated it so much that I had the thought in my head where I was like, okay, well, this is what everyone kind of expects from you to do, and you can either I was like very down on myself or very depressed. And I was like, you either need to like just accept that this is your job and you need to like just be positive in spite of hating your job. And, or, you know, or if you think the source of your pain is your job, then you need to change careers. And I thought to myself, if I didn't care, if I was a huge failure and my family was like, man, he really wasted all of his talent and he could have done whatever else, then what would a thing you do be? And I was like, if I didn't care if everyone was like, man, what a fucking loser, what would it be? And I was like, stand-up comedy and writing. So I just started pursuing that as soon as I stopped working on Wall Street.
So do you still work a job at all?
No, I've been full-time comedy. Well, I saved up a lot of money, and then I've been full-time comedy for like, I don't know, like 3 years or so. I just produced my own tour because I'm not famous yet. So I produced my own tour and would just do a door deal with every venue and trick 50 to 100 people to show up and do whatever I wanted.
I'm not kidding, and I'm not just sitting over here blowing you. I think you're going to kill it. Like, I mean, continue to grow and grow and grow because you're very, very good.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's just so much of this stuff is just like marketing. Like it's just exposure. It's like I'm obviously not everyone's gonna love my stand-up, and doesn't, you know, I would want most people to like it. But a lot of it is just like exposure and people realizing who you are, what they would like, and thanks to the internet, you're able to put it out. But then also the internet can be frustrating because you just put it out and you're just lost in the millions upon millions of videos and nonsense everyone's putting up.
But what you're doing is the right thing, and I truly believe that. Like, not only releasing the special on YouTube, which has 85,000 views, I mean, it's doing great. But on TikTok, you're picking up people, and even if out of 1,000 or 2,000 people on TikTok you pick up one person, that's still great. And then your Instagram does so well, and if you loop everything back together, and your podcast, it just loops back to Jordan, and it creates a fan base that is really, really awesome. And it's really wild to see that after the two years, because I think the first time I ever messaged you was right away when we were starting with the podcast to see if you'd be interested in coming on. And I was like, dude, this guy's going to think I'm a loser. This guy's going to think I'm a total loser.
I don't think that. I wouldn't even think that about anyone, man. I mean, I think I'm a total loser. So
no, dude, it's great. And then
I hope I was nice in my responses. I hope I wasn't like, duh, fuck you or anything.
No, you were great right away. I mean, shit, like, when we asked you, I mean, I had saw like two of your not skits, but two of your stand-up acts, like just clips. Yeah. And I was like, dude, this would be awesome. And I was like, it would be awesome to have you in the studio and try. That's when I messaged you. I don't know if you remember, but I was trying to see if we could get you in at the Speakeasy, which is down the road here. And it's just a dying comedy club. Like, that's why I was trying to get you over here and then pull you in the studio.
I would have loved to do it, dude. I would have been thrilled if that would have been, I would have like made my month or year.
Dude, I mean, and hopefully that gets to the point. I think it'd be so awesome to get to the point where, you know, you are right down the road doing stand up, and right after we can go do CrossFit and give each other back rubs and come back here.
Oh, that sounds ideal to me, man. That sounds great. That sounds perfect to me. I mean, I'll do any club, man. I don't care. I just love I miss doing stand-up so much. This pandemic's been horrific for that reason. I just really miss working out new jokes, and like, it sucks because I started really putting some things together, and then pandemic happened, and you're like, well, I guess it's all on pause. Because like Zoom shows they're not the same.
Run away. Go away. Dude, I fucked up. I did an online roast.
Oh, no.
Damn, I might as well just chopped off my balls, did the BME Pain Olympics, put that shit in a blender and just drank it. It would have been better. Like, it was real bad. It was real bad.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. I just think it's like, I mean, it's just comedy. It's diet comedy. It's not the same thing. It's not as much fun. I almost think like, dude, if let's say this pandemic was permanent, I mean, I think I'd just be like, fuck it, I'm getting a job. I don't know, man. Maybe my mind would change if I was bringing in a lot of money off of like advertising and stuff, whatever. You know, if I was like on The Fighter and the Kid and I was getting like hundreds of thousands of dollars to record a shit ass podcast, then sure.
It looks like there might be an opening for someone's vacancy on that show.
Yeah, that was not a show I listened to very often, for the record, but
Nope.
You know what? I don't know if I would even do that show if they asked me. I mean, I probably would for money, but I don't know Shab at all. But if he was like, "Hey, do you want to be the co-host?" I would be like, I don't know. I'd have to think about it. That's a tough one.
I can tell you out of my okay. First of all, I want to say if Brendan Schaub wants to come on the podcast, this is an open invitation for a rebuttal and anything you want to do. Like you totally have a spot right across the table from me here, and I will have your drinks paid for and everything. But
sure,
dude, I will tell you, your special is better than his. That's just
that's not saying much, but yeah, thank you.
Very much so.
I'm gonna say this, and I saying about him. I mean, he's given it a sincere effort now. You know, he's just unfortunately he's like famous. You just got to be not famous and just do really bad shows for years and years and years.
He was just famous for a whole different reason.
Sure, absolutely. But I always have this fear. Anytime like an athlete is like, I'm gonna do stand up, like Blake Griffin actually was okay at it.
I don't mind him at all.
You know, great. He was like okay, and I actually think he had like a lot of respect for it. But like sometimes, anytime anyone sends me like a clip of here's a celebrity who's never done stand up doing stand up, or here's an athlete who's never done stand up doing stand up, I always have this fear before I hit play that they're going to be amazing at it. Like right off the bat, I'm always like, man, how fucking pissed am I going to be that Gronkowski not only is like arguably the greatest tight end in history, but also is way better at stand-up than I am. Like, that would just crush me. Not only is he like a way better athlete and more famous, better, it's so many things. Then the one thing I pride myself on, he just picks it up and he hits home runs. But thankfully, that is yet to happen. I'm really happy to say that's yet to happen.
It is yet to happen. If you had to pick one person who it would be, who would it be? Actually,
immediately good?
Yeah. Like, you kind of, like... the difference is having a room full of people who adore you. Like, so if Gronk walked in a room, I know Gronk's a funny guy. If he walked in a room, yes, people would laugh their asses off because
he's a fun guy. He's probably not a funny guy, but he's a fun guy. I'm not always a fun guy, but I am a funny guy.
Who would you pick?
I know what you're saying, where he would be like fun to be around and great to, and like joke with and talk to. Absolutely.
Who would you pick if somebody? I
bring up Gronk just because there is a clip of him doing stand-up comedy that is funny to watch. It's just, I can't even remember the bit, but it's a bit about how many girls want to have sex with him, and it just shows you that he has like, it's just like he just lives in a different world than all of us.
Oh yeah, he does.
Because it's not a concern really ever had. I've never had that issue where you're like, oh, so many women annoy me because they all want to fuck me. And that's Gronkowski problems.
I think the best famous person that would walk up on stage and actually prepare stand-up, I am telling you 100% fact, love him or hate him, I don't care, because I don't care, would be Donald Trump.
I mean, he's a performer in a sense, and he's kind of doing stand-up already, kind of.
Yeah.
I believe it. I mean, I believe it. I know people mostly, well, I mean, it's 50, who knows? I don't know the numbers. And the real test would be like people just not knowing who he is. And that would be impossible because you can't get an honest read. If you're like famous, you walk in, like you can't get an honest read. But I mean, Trump is, like you said, love him or hate him, he's very funny.
He
very
does
funny.
I mean, he's got
the crowd work down.
Yes, he does, dude.
He's got the crowd work. He knows how to. What he does well is he knows how to feel a room to at least give them. He knows how to red meat a room. He can toss red meat to whoever he's talking to at that moment.
And
So I mean, yeah, I think
pause and
But it's
play
not-
on
he's
his
not a-
words is, I mean, like, yeah, like he knows when to stop and go. And
I mean, he's pretty witty. I mean, all those debates. I mean, the Biden ones weren't great, but when he was going head to head with Hillary, I mean, he had so many like that because you'd be in prison. I mean, that clip makes me laugh every single time.
I got nothing. I got nothing. I mean, I really
could see him being. I think he could put it together, maybe, but he also would have no interest in taking the L's.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you got to just take a lot of L's to like get to good jokes.
If he got booed out of a
I'm
room,
trying
dude, everybody's fired. Like, dude, everybody's in trouble.
Yeah, I just there's some rooms he couldn't even do. Like he couldn't even do like any alt rooms at all. Like if he was trying to do like I don't know some shows in Brooklyn that are real. I mean he's not going to do too well there. But I as far as like being like a road comic, like Trump's just performing in Oklahoma. Oh yeah, he's going to crush that shit.
Donald,
Yeah, he's going to smash it.
If the Donald is watching this podcast, hey, me and Jordan want to have you do a trio podcast with us where we see what you're really made of. Like, and we will go on tour with you. We will. Yeah, I mean, we'll open for you and absolutely.
Wait, I'm not opening for Trump. Hold on, dude.
Wait. Dude, if you open for Trump, it don't matter what you say. Dude, you are literally the biggest name comic in the history of the world right now.
That might be accurate. But you just can't, dude. I can't open for Trump. It's just
I'll MC.
First off, I'm gonna feel bad when I bury his ass. He's gonna feel bad. I can't.
No, dude.
That would be kind of fun to bury. I would bury him. It's straight up stand up. Now, in terms of just like telling a crowd that Mexicans are the problem, yeah, he's gonna be better than I am at that. Okay, I'm not willing to do that, but
dude,
I don't know, man.
You wouldn't open for
See,
Trump.
That's the problem. I'm not. Go ahead. What are you saying?
You wouldn't open for Trump, really?
I wouldn't. I mean, it's just like, again, it's that, how much money is it? I'd have to think about it. I'd have to think about what it means to me.
Dude, it's literally all the money. It's literally all the money. You're opening for a room that's going to be packed.
Same. See, this is a good question. It's the exact same as the age-old question, like, if you're straight, like, how much money would it cost you to suck a dick? It's the same sort of thing, like, how much money. Now, maybe I'm a lib cock or something out here in New York, but I'd have to think. I'd feel weird. Also, I don't know how well I do for his crowd. I mean, I do fine. I just have to do like all my sex material or something, but
you're digging too deep. You're digging too deep. Like, listen, you're booked. You're making a large amount of money. And then after this, I mean, you're going to be booked no matter where you go, how you do it, whatever you do. But you're opening for, dude, the Donald Trump Tour 2022.
What? I mean, what a weird poster.
Oh, my God. With your American freedom boner picture in the corner.
Everyone would see that poster and be like, why did Donald Trump get these two guys?
Dude, yeah, dude. It would literally... Dude, it would be the dumb... I mean... It would be dumber than American politics today. Like, that tour.
I don't think, I think there was a clip. It's like, I just don't, like, when it comes to, like, political, not political comedy, when it comes to, like, political events, I just think stand-ups are, like, misplaced there. Like, just, like, booking a comedian for a Donald Trump tour would be weird.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought there was a clip, but it'd be weird. Like, I think even Biden, for their inauguration, they booked a comedian, I believe.
I know they booked Lady Gaga.
No, they booked Lady Gaga.
That girl's got some pipes.
Let me see if this... I mean, yeah, I'm a huge fan. I really do love Gaga.
Did you ever have the Gaga cookies?
Have what?
Lady Gaga Oreos. They just came out.
I have not, but that sounds great.
Solid 7.5 out of 10. They're really not bad.
Really? How are they different from regular Oreos?
They are 100% not a regular Oreo at all. They're sugar cookies on the outside, and then the middle is very what's the word I'm looking for? Pizzazzy, like ooh,
it's very gaga.
Yeah, very gaga. That is very yeah. But they're not bad.
I mean, dude. I mean, yeah. I'm a huge fan of Fame Monster, all of her stuff, dude. I've listened to it all the time. Born This Way.
Oh,
go for a workout. Love listening to Born This Way. I thought I thought Biden at the inauguration or something. I thought I saw a clip where they booked like a deaf comedian or something like that.
Oh no, you're talking about the person who sign languages. They have to have those for at all. Cuomo has one of those.
No, not the sign language people, dude. They literally booked they didn't book just a comedian. They went and booked like a special needs person doing comedy, and I was like, well, this is just cruel.
Oh, God.
It's just not. I can't remember what her ailment was, but I was like,
was it Amy Schumer?
Just trying to. Yeah, it was Amy Schumer, exactly. Hey, I've had some brutal comments from people on YouTube calling me the male Amy Schumer.
No,
dude, YouTube is vicious.
Oh,
these motherfuckers! If you have an insecurity, they will find it.
I know.
Of course they will.
I posted this clip, dude, and it was, I'll walk you through the story because it is so stupid. Okay. But I waited 5 months to get this custom-made O.J. Simpson jersey.
That's awesome.
The O.J. Simpson jersey shows up, and I look at my daughters, and I'm like, it's game time. And so I give my daughter my phone, and I put the O.J. Simpson jersey on. I put a football helmet on, and I walk out to the garage with a gun and a knife, and she's videotaping behind me. And so I go and I said, O.J. Simpson working out in the off season. And then I'm stabbing footballs. I'm doing squats with a gun and knife in my hand. I've got the black gloves on, everything. Dude, people called me insensitive. I think her name was Nicole. You're insensitive, Nicole's family. Dude, there was a whole Nicole support group that destroyed me. Man. There was a whole O.J. Simpson is innocent group that came at me. And so out of about 80,000 comments, about 60,000 of them were I should die.
I think that's pretty funny, though.
Dude, it was great.
It's not a bad bit. It's a funny sketch or a sketch idea. Yeah, he killed Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman, allegedly. I mean, he was acquitted, but nobody believes it. And now O.J. Simpson's on Twitter, and he just only shoots those weird videos.
Hey, Twitter fam. It's me, O.J.
What a weird... Yeah. Hey, so I've got the over. I think the Dolphins are going to beat the Chiefs this weekend. It's you just can't be a murderer and then just shoot videos like you're not a murderer.
And then people are awkwardly commenting. I swear to God, when I posted my OJ video, I was like, baby, what if OJ sees this? And she's like, if he does, hey, that's good for us. I was like, is it?
I don't think he has the technological wherewithal to figure out how to find those sorts of videos. I mean, do you think OJ's aware of all the bits that wouldn't it be so funny if he just had no clue? Like the internet had been making fun of him for 20 years?
It would be, but what would be better is, do you think Aaron Hernandez or OJ Simpson would win in a knife fight?
Oh man, I think Hernandez.
Dude, I mean, he's a big guy. But let's take OJ in his prime. He was elusive and quick.
Oh, man.
He could probably get six stabs.
Honestly, I'm kind of forgetting. I think OJ would. No, OJ's a better athlete than Hernandez.
Rush for 2,000 yards. The juice, baby.
OJ's ultimately a way better football player than Hernandez and a better athlete. So I think OJ would. But I also just think, I don't know. Because Hernandez seems so clearly like there's a lot of darkness in him.
Oh, yeah, dude. If you saw that documentary.
OJ seems to compartmentalize that very well.
He forgets he's a murderer.
He just comes off like he's like your sweet grandpa.
Yeah.
You say I feel like if you said a swear word around OJ, he'll make you put a quarter in the swear jar.
Oh, dude, you're so right. He does give that persona, but he was also an actor. He was also a huge actor during that time as well.
Yeah. A good actor.
Yeah. Too. Buffalo Bill.
He was great. All those comedy movies, he was great in them.
He really was not bad. That's weird to have a talent like that. I actually truly do. I don't know if you keep up with, like, do you have Hulu or anything like that?
Yeah, I have Netflix and like Prime and stuff. Yes, and I watch
have
a
you
fair amount of
seen
stuff.
the
I try not to, but
Baker Mayfield? Baker Mayfield's the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. But
Okay.
he does all the Hulu commercials. And Baker Mayfield,
I have not seen the Hulu commercials.
but he's a great actor. And it just
Wow.
is so weird that, like, even during these commercials, like, it seems like it'd be silly and stupid or whatever, but I'm like, he really is a good actor, and that is a talent.
He
dude.
probably got a coach. No, he probably got an acting coach for whatever he was doing, which is smart. I think that what's the Chief? I should know this because I am from Kansas City. What's the Chiefs QB name?
That's Patty Mahomes, baby.
I should know. He's like the best player in the NFL right now. I'm an idiot for not knowing that.
It's completely okay.
But no, it's kind of unacceptable. I mean,
he's only in the Super Bowl in 1 week.
I'm from Kansas City, but I'm like, anyway, like I think Mahomes is horrific at acting. If I were Mahomes,
No,
I would
you
be
are
like,
right.
in the offseason, just spend an hour with an acting coach because it's gonna. Maybe I guess it doesn't matter anymore because he got that fat contract, but like, dude, the amount of like opportunities that will give you long term,
Dude, you're not
insane.
wrong. But you did. That's what actually kind of leads us into what I wanted to talk to you about. You have done acting and improv, correct?
Oh yeah, I mean improv. Not really. I took improv. I took it too early in my comedy career. I guess not really, because anytime you can just take an L in whatever you're doing, you just learn from all of your losses. So like, I just started stand up, so I was like eating my balls every night at open mics and bar shows, and then I'd go to improv class during the day, and I'd eat my balls there. So I was just like, just really going through the grinder. I did not enjoy improv class at all. Like, I remember one time in improv, I only took 2 classes ever, and in one of them, in the first one I took, I would remember standing there, and like everyone has to like introduce a scene, and improv kind of silly. It's good for acting, but it feels kind of silly. And I guess respected or not respected, but whatever. And like everyone had introduced a scene in this case, and I was up there, and the teacher's like, all right, so everyone, one more person has to introduce a scene. And I was like, just didn't want to do it. So I was just like standing leaning against the wall. And like, there was like 5 seconds of silence as everyone's like, who hasn't done one? And then the teacher goes, Jordan, you haven't done one. And I just go, no. And okay, and then we just sat down.
Dude,
Improv wasn't my shit, but
I figured you'd have like a cigarette in your mouth during that too.
I did, dude. I was not cool. I was just so nervous and anxiety ridden about introducing a scene improperly because I was a huge pussy, and that's all part of the the growth trajectory. But I took acting classes. I really enjoyed those. I got a lot out of them. But that was also, I took them when I had some confidence in my stand-up, and I, shot sketches and stuff, which depending who you are and your performance experience, but if you've never edited a sketch before, I highly recommend that, because that will really teach you how bad at acting you are, and either make you really focus on it or make you go get a professional to help you and give you some guidance. But I got a lot out of my acting class in New York.
Jordan, are you cool with going for a little bit longer?
I don't care, man. Whatever. I'm
okay.
cool.
Can I go pee real fast?
Yeah. Do your thing, dude.
Literally, I was listening to your story and I was pinching my pee hole as tight as I could. And I was like, dear God, come on, buddy. All right, I'll be right back.
No, go to the bathroom, man.
All right, cool. You take this next ad.
Yeah, just give me. If you need me to fill it, I can. What's up, people? How's your day going? Are you having a good day at work? I hope you are. Just remember that it's all pointless. It really is. It's all pointless because it's only your time being wasted at your job every single day, and that ultimately will not make you happy. And that's almost driving you away from the things that do make you happy. You ever think about when you were a kid? I just love making this so depressing. That's really funny. You ever think about when you were a kid, like, and imagine you could talk to your kid self and explain your current life to your kid self, and you talk to your 6-year-old self, and your 6-year-old self goes, "Hey, so what are you now? Like, did you become a professional athlete? Did you become an astronaut? Are you president? What are you doing with your life?" And you're like, no, I'm just a marketing manager for Nabisco. And you're like, wow, that's great.
Yeah, and that's how we got
it. Yeah, fill the time up.
Hey, and I do want to say,
cut it out or not?
For everybody that is still around and still listening, I want to say thank you. And I also want to say I have listened and heard to what everybody is saying about some of the audio, because we just started doing Zoom calls and we've fixed it. We've got new equipment coming in thanks to one of our sponsors. And thank you guys for just letting me know. Like, I'm not used to this Zoom shit. Like, COVID times, everything is weird and different. And every podcast we've ever done was in person. So up until like 3 weeks ago, we had no idea about Zoom. And it's a really cool concept, Zoom is, but man, I miss having people in front of me.
Oh, it's so much better. Yeah, nothing. That's why when people are like, is work going to shift to Zoom, or is it just going to shift at home? And it's like, I don't know. I mean, some jobs, yes. And for some people, yes. But I think a lot of people, I think you really do. I mean, you need to see people. You need to be in a room with them. And then if I don't run a company, but if I ran a company, I'd imagine a lot of ideas you come up with are kind of just walking down the halls.
Absolutely.
Connect, or just like eating lunch together, and you're not doing conscious work in that moment, but maybe you're talking about a project together, or just talking shit on other people in your office. It'd be weird to just Zoom call your coworker just to talk shit on Pam. Like, that'd be a weird thing to do.
Now, have you done stand-up in front of people with masks on?
Yeah, I've done 3 weekends of shows, and it just didn't feel right.
It's a real
cringe weird.
fest.
My sisters are doctors, and we had a super limited capacity. It was like 25 people in a space that holds 150, and they were all spread out. And the shows were really fun, but I also just I felt odd about it, because it kind of conflicts with my personal beliefs on collecting people in a room. Even if you can do it, and even if governors and representatives are saying you can do it, I think to me, it felt personally irresponsible of me to selfishly bring people into a room where they could potentially get sick, and I just didn't like the risk of it. And I just didn't like that feeling. And so I've been deliberately, I could have hit up clubs in the South, and I could be doing like Florida, Alabama, places where it's more open, but I've made a personal choice to just eat my money and not do that, and not be selfish on behalf of everyone.
So when did you release the special?
I released it, I think, in like June, I believe. I'm not sure.
Oh, so right mid-pandemic. What a great time to do that, though, as well.
I mean, what a lucky occurrence I had filmed it before.
Thank God, dude. Real. Like, I said I never got baptized, but dude, thank that guy up there, because that's the best time to do it. And since then too, I've watched like all of your stuff grow in different aspects of the game in each way. So
yeah.
And your podcast too. So you just do the one podcast, and it looks like it's doing well.
Yeah, it's doing pretty good. I mean, as you probably know, it's never enough, and you'll never be happy, and you have an unquenchable thirst for fame and money that no matter what number you hit, someone else will always do better, so you'll always be frustrated. But other than that, yeah, it's going great.
Yeah,
it's
other than being fun. Miserable all the time.
Yeah. Other than constantly seeing someone else with a bigger dick, yeah, it's great. It's been. I've really enjoyed doing it, and it's about. I enjoy the challenge of talking to myself for an hour and trying to be funny in that capacity and or interesting.
That's what I think that your podcast, that's why I really like it a lot, is because it's a lot like mine. I sometimes do, once every few weeks I do an hour-long solo podcast where I'm just winding through the dumb thing that is my brain. But I feel like your podcast too, it's all over the place, and I really like that.
Yeah, I almost think that that's like the good part about it is that I do think I cover a wide variety of topics, whether it's like my personal small things that happen to you, and then also I'll try to tackle big topics like how do you handle the pandemic, or like I'll shit talk Trump. I mean, I'm sure this is going out to some people in the Midwest, so they're gonna hate that, but I'll make fun of Trump for like calling Pence a pussy or something. And I think that's I think it kind of represents like anybody, because sometimes it feels like really silly. I mean, it depends what you're doing, but over the past like couple, I don't know, months, we've had so many heavy things happen that I would feel insane to just not even remotely reference them or discuss them in the best way I can do. And I'm of course probably, sometimes I almost feel like I'm ill-equipped for it because I don't have all the right information, and I'm trying to do my best and be funny with it. But it'd be like crazy if you're just going to go on a podcast and be like, talk about like, oh, what do you do when a guy texts you at 1 a.m., you up? And meanwhile, like the Capitol is being stormed.
Yeah, like, let's disregard that. You tell him that I'm still sleeping.
Yeah, it's like, what's fucking wrong with you? You're just really going to talk about this petty, stupid dating issue right now, and meanwhile, democracy seems to be in the balance, and you have no comment on that. And that's also kind of what stand-up is, because like if you do like an hour of stand-up, you can cover literally anything in that amount of time that could like express you. And I actually do think that's like a criticism of my first hour that I would like to improve upon. Is I think a lot of it it's really fun, it's really funny, but I would prefer to have, I see it and I was like, I wish I had taken either harder swings on some topics and stuff. But,
that's you reflecting back, like, dude, it was really good, and I mean, and you had a great crowd. Was that like, is that a hometown? Yeah. Is that a hometown club that you shot that at?
Yeah, I just shot at Stand Up New York in New York. It's on the Upper West Side. It's just a club that's been good to me over time, and I have a good relationship with them. Like they just throw me like weekday spots, and they were doing this like headliner series thing, and where they would like select like a few up and coming comedians and be like, hey, do you want to headline our club during this month? And I took them up on it. And also I was like, well, if I'm going to headline this club and I'm going to invite, all people I've worked with, friends, family, and then whoever wants to come, if I'm going to invite as many people as I can, I might as well film it. So then I hit up my director friend, Connor Thompson, and was like, hey man, I'm headlining this club on this date, and would you be interested in directing it? And he is like, I would love to. And he and his team did a fantastic job. Connor's like a super talented filmmaker. And I mean, filming my stand-up doesn't really show the depth of his talent.
Dude, I mean, honestly, okay, his name was Connor?
Connor Thompson, yeah.
Connor Thompson deserves a lot of credit because the way that was shot was absolutely incredible. I thought it was very, very cool. It was articulate, and it was very nicely shot. Yes.
Yeah, I think I think sometimes, honestly, it's funny to think I almost wish I had spent more money on it. Like, in the sense of like, it's going to be forever, or, till I die anyway. And
it's only the first
I almost
one.
Am like, I should have just gotten even better cameras. I should have just been like, dude, fucking blank check it.
You're doing what you just did a few minutes ago. You're trying to fix what you've already done, but you can't. Dude, it was great.
No, of course. It's a lesson learned. It's just all the small lessons you get over the course of doing, any career, but comedy, being like, here are the things. If I had known, I would have. And I actually had a friend one of my friends, he filmed his special, but he just used like DSLRs, which are, just like decent cameras if you're like, they're kind of like cameras that like are semi-professional cameras, I'd say. He used those. And as soon as he saw mine, he was like, oh man, I should just fucking ponied up money and really went all out. So and the other part about it I really do appreciate is the fact that I I made it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with my friend's help, not to say I did all the work, but I made it on my own. And since I totally own the content, I totally own the special. And some of my friends, like, or people I know, like I see like their clips pop up on like Comedy Central's Instagram, and you're like, that's cool. You got that credit. That's great. But they own your joke, or they own your video of that. And they own it in perpetuity.
Right. Yeah.
And
like
it's like so much better. I own my stuff just going forward. Cause now I can just put it whatever I want. I don't know. TikTok could go down, Instagram could go down, YouTube could go down, or whatever new social media platform pops up.
And that's yours.
I can easily put my things up.
And I think it's cool too. Like, you did it, and it's so funny. Like one of my other favorite comedians, Mark Norman from, I think, New York.
Yeah.
He did the same thing. Like he just posted his special to YouTube, hoping that revenue would come in from his episode, or I mean from the special. And I'm pretty sure it did. He's a great comedian.
No, it's done great. Yeah, I mean, Mark and I are at very different points in our careers, but yeah, he's that. I think that especially for someone like him, it's super important. I think he was running into. Now I don't, I've known Mark only in passing. I don't know him particularly well, but I think the thing he runs into is that he's a great comedian. He's so funny. But he couldn't get anyone to pick up his stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
He couldn't get. He said this on interviews, so it's not like I'm blowing his spot here. And I actually think that's the best thing that happened to him. Because what do you want as a comedian? I mean, of course it'd be great to get a big check for your special, but then you know what sucks? It's behind this paywall, and nobody even knows it's there. Like I don't know the numbers, but let's say Michelle Wolf. I love Michelle Wolf. I think she's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's great. But you know what sucks? I've only watched her special once when I stole my friend's HBO password and I haven't been able to go back.
Yeah,
and I'm a huge comedy nerd. How many people are not able to see her special because it's behind that paywall, HBO's paywall?
Mm-hmm.
So many people. And so it's almost better for Mark, because all we want to put it out, most people to see it, and then we sell tickets off of that because people actually give a shit about us.
Absolutely,
and also come to your podcasts and sketches or whatever creative endeavors you have.
Well, see, that's the thing too. Is your YouTube page is doing pretty well. I believe it's at 13.9 subscribers, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
but sorry, dude. It's a weird thing. It's in my brain. It's just like I see the.
No, you're great, man. You know all this shit. I'm impressed. Don't even apologize. I'm impressed. You actually prepare for interviews. Most people go like, "So what's your name?"
No.
Who are you?
Yeah, you're not going to catch that here, dude. I believe that Shot 30 Podcast is the greatest unknown podcast in the history of mankind, dude. We've had.
No, you're a professional. You're not fucking around.
Oh yeah, awesome, professional until I knock out my cord in my ear and my headphones.
Hey, all good, man. That's what people love about podcasting, is that stuff can happen. No, you're actually professional. My fucking friends. I ask my friends to do my podcast. I tell them what we're gonna riff on beforehand. They show up with no jokes, and you're like, "Come on,
just anything." Fuck.
Yeah. You're like, "Come on, dude, try a little harder." I know it's me and we're friends, but we can't just assume we're great. Come in with a couple bits or ideas or perspectives,
So, like with your YouTube page, like I wanted to say, your YouTube page is built up in a way, and a YouTube page not only represents you, but it can represent everything that you've done in multiple different ways, whether it's your podcast, whether it's your stand-up, whether it's your skits, and all of that comes together to represent you. And so when you put that special out and you get 85,000 views, those people come and they are there for you. So
yeah,
and if you think about it, 13.9 thousand subscribers, those are fans of just Jordan, and that is a great feeling.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, it is. It's great. Like if you had told me before I released the special that it was going to do this well, because I mean, honestly, a lot of people talk about like how their stuff is from pure word of mouth. I mean, I literally have had no following before it. I cannot stress how little of a following I had, and it's only, and even when I put it out, it hasn't been like, I think a lot of people put something out and it immediately, it's going to get that immediate boost from people. And the part that's been gratifying for me is that it just keeps ticking up and up and up. And that's, I think, because people keep sharing it, which is very nice of them. And they could not do that. And I think that's to my, I don't really like to say nice things about myself if I can help it. But one thing that just means a lot to me, and it makes me feel like the product is quality, which you don't always feel that way about everything one does. Sometimes you just watch your shit and you just go, I suck.
Oh, dude. I mean,
like
people,
I know, man.
People who make videos and don't think that, then they probably actually suck. Because
no, absolutely.
There is something wrong with every video I've ever uploaded, every skit I've ever done, every stand-up I've ever done. There is always something wrong. And if you don't think like that, then, dude, you literally just suck.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be always trying to think, like, how can I improve this? And I think of that for my podcast, like, I'm sure you do the same thing. You go, oh, I made that mistake, or this thing is wrong. And it's like, it's fine. Just the next one, just remember that mistake, and then the next one will be better. Like, I think with my podcast, I just keep trying to gradually improve the production value of it and the hopefully the quality of it. But it's just trying to identify mistakes you make and then improve upon them. And,
it's even small things like much. The second I hear, like, your audio sounds great on Zoom, I'm like, fuck, finally, somebody's got a good fucking mic. Instead of being like,
I know.
Listen, what I wanted to say was in this little earbud. Oh.
I know, man. Yeah, you just can't have that stuff. That's why I'll even message people, like my friends. I'll be like, hey, before I even ask them to do it, I'll go like, do you have a microphone that hooked up to your computer? Because and these aren't even that much. Like, what do you have, like a Blue Snowball? It's like $80 or something. And it like adds a lot of value.
Yeah, we got like six Blue Snowballs.
Nice, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
In case one blows out, we're always ready.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it's not, but like some people, they just, I mean, especially at this point in the pandemic, like I tried to listen, I can't remember who, I'm not going to say who, but I was trying to listen to a podcast today, and one person sounds really clear, and then they go, yeah, so here's our guest of the day is blah. And then that guy comes on. It's like you said. Yeah, it's like, are you using the Burger King fucking intercom? Why do you sound like that? Especially now that we're, 11 months into the fucking, almost a year into the pandemic, and you haven't gone and bought the $100 microphone to not sound like an imbecile?
Dude, the Blue Snowballs are literally, or the Snowballs are literally $40 right now.
It's crazy. Yeah. You just get it makes it so much better. Yeah. It drives me crazy. I mean, I had a podcast with my buddy Colm Terrell that we stopped doing because we made no money doing it, even though I thought it was very funny. And like early on, we had some bad audio episodes because we're learning how to use the equipment, and it sucks because that probably just killed any listenership from that specific episode you could have. I don't know, man. It's just getting better over time, and not hating yourself for your mistakes so much, and just being like, kind of disassociating. I mean, that's what I try to do with jokes, is I try to like not take it personally that a joke went poorly, and think to try to like analyze either how I could fix it, what went wrong, or maybe the way I told it went wrong. Try to take an objective stance on it.
I've struggled with jokes. Difficult. I've struggled with jokes because in Illinois, in this area, you get two types of people. You get a type of person that would think that a guy like you is funny. And then you would get a type of person who thinks, it doesn't matter what you say to me, you're not going to be funny, and I don't give a fuck. Dude, there's only two types of people. So working around sets like that, it's just, you try to figure out, like, okay, maybe I shouldn't burn this joke or this bit because this group didn't like it, because it really could work. It's just a tough area for that.
Well, those people, I mean, if somebody shows up at a comedy show and they have that attitude, they're just a lost cause. And it's like if you're having sex with a woman and she was like, I bet you can't make me come, and you're like, I bet you're right. I can't make you come because you have no desire to, because you're coming in with that shit attitude. And I don't want to put in the effort to change your mind. I mean, if somebody's being miserable at a show, I just be like, why are you here? Why are you so miserable? Just leave. I don't care. I don't care if you're here. And I think it's better if you don't like me that we just leave each other alone.
I do like with what you say too. It brings sparks in my brain that over the past year, someone else hit it big in comedy, and that was Andrew Schultz.
Oh man, yeah, Andrew and I are not on the same level, but yeah.
But Andrew Schultz is a crowd worker to the extreme, and that's what I wanted to say about you. Is you do really well with your crowd work as well.
Yeah, I love doing crowd work. I mean, it's really fun. I mean, it makes it. I mean, I like doing both things. Like in the special, I don't think I have that much crowd work in my special, but like if I'm on the road and depending on what mood I'm in, you know, some nights I just want to do material, and then other nights I'm like, I don't want to fucking say these jokes. And so I'll just do a lot of crowd work. And I've always actually looked up to Andrew a lot. He's a guy in New York, anytime I've interacted with him, he's always been really sweet and kind to me and given me a lot of great advice. And I've also watched him a lot in New York and seen, you know, just his comedic growth on top of like the social media growth. But I knew Andrew before when he was just a club comic in New York. He would just show up at clubs and just murder. And then he was on Guy Code at that point, but you'd be like, I don't know why this guy isn't like headlining every club in America right now.
But New York has a really good basis of comedians. Like, it really does. And I don't know if that has something to do with, I mean, of course it's a big city. I know there's shows that are produced out of there as well, like LA, but it's got a really solid group of comedians coming out right now.
Yeah, I think it's because you're going to get, no matter how good you think you are, someone's better. And if you're lazy or you're not putting the work in, you'll get found out on a show. I mean, I remember early on in comedy, it was like you talk about Mark Norman. I remember Mark Norman used to do like any show he could, any show he could, no matter how many people there. And my friend started, my friend is such a grifter. He started a thing called Schwendy's Comedy Club, and he found this crappy bar in Times Square, and he just called it a comedy club, and he just started producing his own shows. And I was friends with him, and so he would book me, and he would also like book like Mark Norman. He would book some guys who at that point were working comedians. This is before, you know, I think he had a late night set or two, but he wasn't like, you know, what everyone thinks he is now, or he is now. And so I'm like 2 years into comedy. I'm all right, but you know, it's 2 years into comedy. Mark's like 8 to 10 years into comedy at that point. And so I went up in front of I think Mark went up in front of, it was only like 8 people there in the audience, and Mark goes up and he did great. And then I go up after him and I just fucking silenced the whole set and just ate it. And just really, I think that's what makes you become a better comedian, is having someone who's way better than you smoke you out. So you have to either go, I quit because I'm not going to be that funny, or you just go, well, I'm going to have to work a lot harder than I am right now to actually be funny. And I think that, it happens all the time in New York. You get to perform with like, no matter how, if like at this point, I'm 8 years into comedy right now. If I'm on a lineup at a club, I could follow someone who's 25 years into comedy, and like there's something to be said for that experience. And there's something to be said for being forced to rise to the occasion and try to meet, you know, someone who's a pure veteran at that point.
Absolutely.
And I think you get that more. I think you can bump into that more in New York. I mean, you end up performing with like some of the best comedians on earth on any given show. And I think that if you're from a smaller town, I think it's a little tougher because you could be, 2 to 5 years into comedy and you're one of the funnier guys in your scene, but you're not going to be pushed by that as much as if you have to, you have to follow Andrew. Andrew will go up, he'll be like, hey, can I just, like, if you're at New York Comedy Club and Andrew will be like, pop in, he'll be like, hey, can I go up? They'll be like, absolutely, you can go up. And he'll go up and murder, and then you got to go up after him, and you're like, well, fuck me.
Yeah, dude, my buddy JD, he went up, or he was about to go up in LA. I can't remember what the club was, and Marlon, or the Wayne's boy, the son, he's doing stand up now. Marlon
Sean
Wayne's,
or Marlon?
Oh gosh, I cannot remember.
Sean's done it for a while.
Okay, so would it be okay? So he goes up, he bumps him, and then my buddy JD goes, okay, and he went up. He went up on stage, and he said the Wayne's brother said, or the son said, "Hey, this is JD Spetz. Give him a round of applause." And JD said he stood there and went, "Yeah, I'm just gonna wait to do this set another night." Yeah, he just, it was not.
That's hilarious. No, dude, you gotta just take the L.
I
man.
know.
Just take the L.
I know.
Power through it. Just take the L. Learn from it. It's
He
great.
was coming off doing some Kobe jokes the day Kobe died, and you could still see the smoke in the air.
Okay.
So he needed some leeway.
Fair enough.
But hey,
those are interesting.
Oh, go ahead.
Those are interesting moments. Those are interesting moments for you because you can in that setting, of course, on a given night, kind of for me, if it depends how not that I'm gonna kill every time or anything like that, but it kind of depends on on a set, if I'm performing, am I doing new jokes or am I doing old jokes, or what am I trying to get out of the set? And so you could even I've seen some of those great comedians we mentioned before. I've seen a bomb also, because they're working out new jokes, and that's everyone. That's what's kind of great, is everyone will eat it if they're not doing their worked out material.
That's what a lot of people in my small area type feel. That's what a lot of people forget is, dude, you know how many times Joe Rogan stood on stage and not gotten a laugh? Or you know how many times Theo Vaughn's walked up and people booed him out? Dude, Theo Vaughn, they tried to cancel him before cancel culture. People forget that. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
For what?
A bunch of black and gay jokes back in 2009, 2008, 2009-ish. They tried to cancel him because it was too offensive.
All right.
But and we always forget too that Dave Chappelle is the most offensive comedian of all time, and he is absolutely one of the greatest comedians to ever walk the face of the planet. It's just I hope comedy's not dead, and I hope that we're just in a weird period in time, but it's such a weird thing.
I think that stuff's more a result of once upon a time you would just tell a joke on TV or wherever, and you would not be able to get any feedback on it.
Absolutely.
You would just the special would appear on Comedy Central, and the special would just come at whoever was watching it, and they weren't able to, tweet and be like, oh, who's this comic? Blah, blah, blah. I love her. I hate him. And I hate this joke, or I hate that joke, and pick it apart. And now, for better, it's probably better ultimately now, because it kind of makes you be sharper, and it makes you really commit to what you want to do. Mm-hmm. So you can't just do I don't know, if you're a white guy like me, it might be tough for you to do a joke saying black people don't have dads, That's a stereotype before you get canceled, but that's a stereotype that I've seen black comedian friends of mine do, is that they don't have a dad. Their dad left their family. And, if I did that sort of joke, there's probably a way I could do that sort of premise. I don't actually have any interest in it, but if I did it, and I record it, put it up or something, I could get feedback from people letting me know how offensive that idea is. And that would make me go, do I really stand behind my bit? Do I stand behind my idea? And also, people are really dumb and they don't really understand what you're saying too. That's also another part of putting your comedy or ideas out there, is people, they're too fucking dumb to understand.
Most of the time, I feel like people who get mad at people for doing stuff oh, your joke was terrible. Well, those people getting mad aren't the ones that are offended by the joke. And I've actually been a part of this multiple times, because I've done a lot of joke sets, things like this, where people that are offended aren't the people that should be, if they were, and that's a weird premise. But I do want to say, hey, if you're looking for a new car, go to Princeton, Illinois, and go to Peel Automotive and go to Matt Manning, and he's going to give you $500 additional to your car's when you bring the car back. I don't know why I've forgotten what it's called. Jordan, what the hell's it?
Trade-in?
Trade-in. Yeah, your trade-in. He'll give you $500 additional to your trade-in. That is Peel Automotive in Princeton, Illinois. And just mention Shot 30. Talk to Matt Manning. He's got the deal for you, and they've got all kinds of new and used cars. But yeah, thanks for the trade-in thing. Yeah, I was really slipping there.
Hey, I do that shit all the time. I can't remember words anymore. I'm alone in my place all the time.
You don't live with your girlfriend?
No, I live with my girlfriend. It's just me and her, but, me, her, and our dog, and she's working during the day, so I'm just kind of alone in my head all day, just trying to work and trying to write.
Dude, I understand it, but Jordan, man, I think we're at a perfect time to wrap this thing up, man. I would love if in the future you'd love to come back on, or if we're ever in the area together, I'd love to bring you on stage or do anything with you, man.
That'd
I think
be dope,
you're absolutely an awesome guy. I love your comedy special. I love your podcast. And dude, I honestly, I'm just a big fan of you.
Thank you, man. That's really sweet. I'm really glad you reached out to me. If anyone's listening, you reach out to me to talk to me, I will talk to you.
89% of the time. Don't do that for everybody.
I'll respond, dude. I literally respond to everything. And sometimes people are like, I can't believe you responded. And I'm like, you sent me a dick pic. What was I going to ignore that? Like, what?
Dude, yeah, and you may receive some from this. Like I said, we have a hardcore following, and the only thing that gets weird for me is I don't want people's butthole pics. Like, I just don't want it. Not now, not ever. I mean, I'll still look, and if you send it, I'll be like, okay, but I don't want it.
Oh, it's impossible not to look at whatever picture anyone sends. I've only started ignoring that shit lately, where I've been like, I don't want this. But yeah, it's always funny.
Dude, this is a Shot 30 podcast. I am Shay Newbert. That is Jordan Raybould. Hey, he's got the
benevolent dictator. Dude, I should just change the name. It sucks.
Such a hard.
I like the name, but
it's such a hard first word. Yeah, and then also his comedy special, Freedom Boner, on YouTube. Go check it out now, and go to his podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, Castbox. Leave a review, 5-star review. Check out all of his stuff. It's hilarious, and it's just Jordan Raybould. We'll put all of his information below on this video as well as on the podcast sites. This is Shot 30 Podcast. Jordan, thank you so much for doing this.
Dude, thanks for having me, man. It was really fun. It was great meeting you.